Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to me, Dave Pumphouse, with part 6 of To End All Wars. We've been on holiday for the last 2 weeks, but we're back. We're refreshed. I say refreshed. We've got a little bit of jet lag. It is currently 8:30 in the evening. I didn't really sleep at all on the overnight flight, so I am currently at 2, 3 in the afternoon. My body is, and with no sleep, just what's better than getting over a bit of jet lag than doing a bit of streaming, basically. So we're going to be seeing how we do for the next hour and a half, maybe 2, as we try and continue this campaign as Russia. Yes. Trying to have to remember what we were doing and where we were at with this campaign. It should be an easy jump back into it, and we'll see who comes and joins us for the fun of it. Maybe we'll see old friends, maybe coming in for a chat, and here we are. So yeah. What were we doing? Well, we were trying to push the Germans out of what's this place? Kalno, weren't we? I think we do have it. And we've kind of separated, for the most part, a large part of the German army that maybe looks like it should be behind enemy lines now and should be maybe in the next month or 2 suffering from a bit of attrition. What they'll do, we don't know, but we'll have to maybe put some guys on defensive stance just to protect ourselves. We've got these guys hanging out in the backfield. They seem to be going places, so at least that's good. Might want to maybe send some guys to Vilna just in case, but I don't know, maybe. These guys got the 8th Army looking a bit battered, and tired actually. And these guys going into Vladislav. They should really be on an attack stance, but hopefully, with these guys looking pretty low on their cohesion here, we may be able to cut off a significant portion of the German army up near Vilna here. They might try and take it back, but we hope that the supply situation will just be enough to make them think twice about it. We are looking a little bit vulnerable as these 2 random divisions have shown up. Looks like they're trying to make a move for Podolsk here to even cut off our own supply lines. I am a little bit wary of that. It kind of looks like we're suffering from a bit of an offensive towards Łódź here, and we're kind of opened ourselves up to maybe even a pincer movement. And I mean, I may have to just give ground just to maybe just secure Fortress Łódź again and Podolsk. So I think maybe that's what I'll do. I mean, this guy's relatively untested, but he is a fort defender. So if we send him back, he should get a little bit of a bonus. And maybe just dig in around Kolo here. These guys are moving backwards. Australia, because we made an attempt for Breslau, but that was just miserable. A miserable attempt, and we are being pushed back out Kelch. Oh god, this is a terrible set of events. Vainglorious strategist. they seem to be relatively low on supplies, so I don't think they'll be able to take this fort, but we should really maybe try and support them with reinforcements if we can. Jeez. Not looking great. Yes. Yeah, this attack through Kelch has really taken us on the back foot. We didn't listen to Achilles' advice, of course, when he was pointing it out, but that's just us. So we may even spend the later half of 1915 just securing our lines. Seems like we've become a little bit overstretched. Yeah, we've got Austrians running around doing whatever the hell they want past Tarnopol here. He's going back 16 days. Oof. My goodness. Yeah, it looks like we're really suffering, aren't we? Third Army has been thoroughly and utterly beaten. May even... I may just send the Third Army back here. Oh, yeah, they're really beaten up, aren't they? Oof. Terrible set of events. Now, were we going for some kind of attack over here, down near, what's it called? Chernovitz. Looks like we could have been. Yeah, okay, yeah, we were trying to cut supplies. Yeah, okay. I understand where we're at now. He's going back after a little bit of a sorry display at Chernovitz. We thought he'd do better, but I guess not. He is only a 2-1, so maybe we shouldn't have expected him to do that great. The Turks, of course, are causing trouble. Coming into Kars here. It is besieged. They do have a hole. He's coming in at 8 days on defense. He's moving back, fixing the railroad. Ooh, dearie me. Yeah, look at that. That's not great. Okay. Alrighty then. And I know we did lose a couple of battles before as well in this ridiculous offensive. Yeah, maybe we did. Okay, we won over here quite considerably. Yeah, Russian defeat. Yeah. Being pushed back. Yeah, Chernovitz was a terrible idea. Serbian defeat. Yeah, we need to check out the Serbs. We can't forget the Serbs, of course, as the Austrians are attacking Belgrade. And boy are they angry, along with the Bulgarians. Looks like the Serbs have had it, because they got Pasha over here, and the Turks are getting involved as well. It's all gone a bit Pete Tong for the Serbs. Looks like by the end of 1916 we won't have to worry about them too much. Maybe the Greeks can get involved a bit better. I don't know. Okay, yeah, Kars Fort. Yeah, 215,000 men. Ah, hello Achilles. Achilles says, "Don't worry, I won't say I told you so." Yeah, I didn't listen, Achilles. I didn't listen to you. I should have. But WIF, what's that, war in France or something? Or I've seen Hugs has been playing a lot of Gary Grigsby, and I would have said hello to him this week, but alas, I didn't have a mic because, yeah, who takes a mic on holiday with them, you know? We got a battle here. Did they lose any ships? I don't think so. But we definitely outnumbered. So that's good that we outnumbered them in the Black Sea here, or the Baltic Sea rather, not the Black Sea. Do we want to chase them? I don't think so. I don't think we'll chase them. I think maybe we can just maybe head back to Riga. Head back to Riga for a bit of a rest and refit. But I am worried about the Turks and what they're capable of doing. I mean, we do have some ridiculous Cossacks back here. Do they want to destroy the railroad? Let's ask them if they can do that. That'll help. 91,000 men at Ivanograd. He's definitely coming in there, isn't he? How long is it going to take? 13 days to get back. Okay, that we'll trust you. That's some victory at Sokolov. Good. Yeah, we seem to be just trying to see what these Austrians do. If they want to push up into what's it called, Rauno over here. Yeah, it did look like a good game. It did look like a good game that Hugs was playing. I mean, maybe if he plays it again during the week, I'll come in and have a look. But for now, we're trying to play some World War One stuff. Oh, jeez. Yeah, okay, we sent some guys down to Mosul, didn't we, for fun? Why? Oh, they managed to take that back? Ugh. Right, okay, we'll go back home then. We pushed too far with those Cossacks. It was fun while it lasted. But now that the Turks are fully mobilized, it's probably not a good idea. Yeah, look at that. 32,000 men against 41. And somehow he only lost 300. I guess he did have artillery support. But still, that's a big defeat for us. Yeesh. What do we got here? JFC Fuller. Suddenly starting getting tanks. Maybe we can expect a breakthrough from France. Strasbourg looks like it's suffering a bit, but not much to write home about on the Western Front. Nothing. Oh no. Yeah, it's looking just a bit of a stalemate. I guess because they didn't come through Belgium. All right. Yeah, we need France to maybe start doing something because we seem to be suffering from a lot of big blows here. Right, let's see about we ain't got no money either, so let's go. Let's just proceed to the next turn and see what we can make of things progressing as we go into August. Maybe we might be able to play up until the end of autumn. That'd be good. But I warn you though, Achilles, you best do something, because the red versus blue campaign looks like it might have all but played itself out. We're gonna, maybe have to call a bit of a soft stop to it, and maybe try and introduce this new economic system that Marshall has been talking about, and rebalance the whole thing. You Vermilion players, you're far too overdramatic. It's been fun though. It's been, maybe the fact that I've allowed things to get so cloak and dagger, that's maybe contributed to some of the confusion, and the mistrust as well. Just the sheer mistrust in everyone is insane in that game. It's been fun to been the custodian of that, but yeah, military things kind of slowed down a bit again, so we're kind of again off the cadence. We're probably at least over a fortnight behind of what we probably should be, but soon we're going to be shifting our focus, of course, to the Avalonia campaign. I think Crisis pretty much has everything sewed up with that one. So, I'll be keeping an eye on things on the main continent as we introduce the economy. It's going to be quite basic. There's only going to be money, which is far different from what was initially proposed at the beginning, where everyone had kind of raw materials and food to worry about. So we'll see what the new economic system with the red versus blue campaign, as it unfolds, what happens. It does need reformation, you're right. It kind of got a little bit out of hand on my watch, but yeah, when there's only two of you and you're trying to deal with 36 people all have their different ideas, it gets messy, it gets crazy. We need to put things back on track. But it's been fun. But anyway, let's have a look and see what these Germans and Austrians are doing. That was always going to be a hard fall. Okay. We had 1,000 guns, and we still couldn't do it. This is just silly numbers. 1,000 pieces of artillery and mortars and stuff. That's huge numbers. But I'm kind of we can deal with those kind of casualties, but it's the morale and the cohesion that's going to make us suffer. Russian victory, choking fort, excellent. Just 12,000 men, that's good. So they won't be able to sustain that for long. And 35,000 gone. Ugh, what? Okay, well the Serbs have had it. They gave up a good fight for as long as they could. But yeah, we can't come back from that for Serbia. They're thoroughly beaten. They can't beat Bulgaria and Austria and Germany all at once. And Turkey even coming in from the south. That's just ridiculous numbers. Chernovitz. Somehow he's gone back across the river to that fort. Fought a battle one day, and then now they're retreating, and he's won another one. That's going to give us some victory points. Look at that. Pavel Ivanov Rinov. Maybe he might gain a couple of points if we kick him out of Chernovitz. Oh, we took Chernovitz. Lovely. Beautiful. Well done, sir. And Colmea as well, by the looks of things. And Kauno Fort is looking pretty good as well. This 15,000. Yeah, we're on the retreat back to Łódź. So that's not great. Oh dear. Oh, no, I'm kicking us out, Colmea. Hang on. They're on a passive, trying to just bug out. And we still managed to lose it. Okay, good. Oh, that's good. Got someone taking charge here. Are they sailors? Since the Marines down on the step there, that's insane. Yeah, I know. Yeah, the Serbian defeat is going to be a pain in the neck as Austrian forces shift, but you know, maybe taking Chernovitz, maybe we can open them up a bit so the counter attack might soften up. But yeah, 1915 is a bit of a bloody one. Yeah, we're going to have a hard time containing all of them as they're coming in. But now we've got Chernovitz. Maybe I can launch my own attack to blunt them a bit. It doesn't look like the Turks have come through cars either. This Dubno. Yeah, this ridiculous army kicking around in the backfield like it's got supplies for days. Yeah, it's annoying. Okay, right, let's have a look at this. Zoklov or Zloksov. Do we want a balanced deployment? We have better combat power, but he's got some pretty decent stats. He's 3 for strategic, 3 on offense, nothing for defense. Maybe just I don't know. Massed fire. Users plan to emphasize fire phase of the combat, especially useful in defending entrenched positions. We're not entrenched. Slightly weaker assault combat. Well, we're not assaulting. Oh, we are on offensive stance, but they're assaulting us. I mean, maybe just a balanced one might even be better. You know, we have every advantage in the book by the looks of things. We're in the green. A balanced deployment. Let's try it. Russian victory though at the cost of 54,000 men. So he came at us with a breakthrough deployment, cavalry breakthrough, but I guess I mean, he lost nearly half of his total force. So, but so did we. So that could have gone worse. We're going to have to try and figure out where exactly that was. But yeah, we are suffering ever so slightly. Okay, they've split. That's probably the worst thing they could do, is to split their forces in the backfield. But we're going to have to go chasing after them and retreat back to Dub, though. I think we might have held cars. That's good. That's good news. We can't have the Turks break through there as well. That would be devastating. Because oof, that looks like a big push up to Ivangorod. Oh dear. Yeah, we're just going to pull back. Pull everything back to a more defensive position. Maybe we should have moved them last turn. I don't know. Austral, we've got 100,000 troops coming out of nowhere, but we gave as good as we got for it there. Putnik. Okay, Putnik, pull it out of the bag, son. Pull it out of the bag. What have we got? Static defense. Forward machine gun replacements. Big assault combat bonus still. We're not assaulting though. Infantry combat values. Okay, Putnik. Ranged casualties on your any big assault combat penalties if countered. Wave assault, mass fire. Okay, we'll do this one. Come on, Putnik. Look at that. Putnik is the man. This guy is like the ace in the hole. He can't lose. Look at that. Get out of here. If we could make him supreme commander of everything, we'd win. I love Putnik. He's the best. Right, so we're probably going to have to move these 2 corps back to Ivangorod. Yeah, Grozchich along here and Lublin. But we can't lose this fort either, because that's a bit of a linchpin. Oh, just where do we want to hold? Bad news. Oh, balls. Have they taken that? Can't say for certain. If we fall back from Yaroslav, that might contain the line a bit better. But it does mean that they will have a better supply route. So Yaroslav, I think, is probably strategic. There's Phantom divisions coming through. Austrians coming in to Łódź for some reason. Why? Everyone looks knackered down by Chernowitz, though. Somehow he's doubled in strength in a day. What's going on there? Oh, Lemberg. Okay. wasn't Chernovitz, Lemberg. But they did leave it undefended. What's going on here? Just taking a vitally strategic town like that and just leaving? Ugh. Gotta learn how to hold it, guys. Hold it together. What's this guy doing? Computer's thinking how best to screw me over. Colo, right. We have the advantage. Can do crossfire. They are assaulting. So to the fire phase, right? Well, strong center, massed fire. Defending enemy. Okay, we'll just do massed fire. See what happens there. Go. They've taken it back. Bollocks. But they're significantly weakened up in the north there, though. Look at that. No, I flew in this morning, Achilles, and watched your blood bowl going, and then took a couple of hours nap. But I mean, it's a bank holiday, so I didn't have to go back to work today. Back to work tomorrow, though. Back to the daily grind. Let's see what type of shit has happened in my absence. Oh. But yeah, we're thinking about leaving that place already. We've only been there, what, 7 months. But another day there. Right. Tulsk Fort, they're still coming in. Falkenhayn with almost 70,000 troops. Man for man, he's got more artillery. Could have been worse. But it looks like we've given up Patulsk. Grim. Man, this has been the midsummer hell. Look at that. How many troops did we... Oh, shit. -3 from battles, even though we took Chernovitz. A major town. Yeah, this is a strategic town. Surely we should have got a bonus just for taking that. But the game says no. Balls. Right. Seems like the whole fucking gang is here. Look, Jesus. What have we got here? Kursk Reserve. This, that, the other. We need a general to take these guys over. Do you have any... you don't have the power. And you're on a passive defensive... No, this needs to be held. What are you doing? I mean, let's have a look at the strategic situation. Objectives. Again, they've lost nearly 3 million men. We've lost 2 million. We're up to 2 million already. Ouch. And their morale is at 100. The cost of 3 million men and there's at the morale of 100? Really? I guess they are at 11,000 victory points. The Western Entente isn't looking great either. But we seem to be bleeding them pretty well. I mean, it could be going worse. It could be going worse. But now we've taken Chernovitz, we need to solidify it. We need to solidify our position a bit better. Podolsk is looking a bit vulnerable. Maybe we need to take... I mean, Kolmaya is... No one's there, but... Yeah, you've retreated for some reason. You want to retreat, and I say no. You fucking defend. You don't go anywhere. You stay and wait for reinforcements, you coward. Right. You're a bit down on your luck as well. But if we can maybe... Oh. I'll tell you what, we'll take you out. We'll put you in. That's better. Yeah, put you, cycle you out, and then we'll put you there. Do we want to maybe attack this 318? Do we want to give them a bit of a left hook? Give them something to think about. We have cavalry there. Can disrupt. Let's try it. Let's try it. 11 days. Not the most offensive start, but I mean, this. I don't want to lose Dubno either. I'm. Huh. Okay, there's. Oof. Okay, they're pretty knackered. Oh man. I reckon this guy, von Baulov, von Baulo, or however you want to say it, is going to come barreling through here. It's going to be tough, isn't it? But yeah, maybe if we move these guys over, if we win, it might make him think twice. But it's upsetting the fact that, yeah, we own this, and somehow they're probably still sneaking supplies up and keeping 250,000 men supplied for half a month. behind enemy lines. It's upsetting. What do we do? Do we just chuck them at this force? I think we have to bully them. They're only Austrians. Time to bully. Going in. Going in, boys. Just gonna have to trust your colonels. Maybe even, I mean, they're pretty well entrenched. Actually, an extra. What? Hang on, you're 89, and you're saying that they're only a 58 for some reason. Bulow. Oh, okay. Is that how you pronounce his name? Bulow. Okay. Is it one of those situations where he's supposed to be a famous general and I'm supposed to know who he is and I don't? Yeah, he's going to have to hold that fort. And they seem to have exhausted themselves coming in for Ivanagrad, though, which is a blessing. That's very welcome news. But you're out on the steppes here, so I'm going to maybe move you back to the forest. Maybe we should probably go for those supply things, but it's worth it. Looks like we've got a decent force waiting for a general here. He wants to retreat. No. Put yourself in. Put yourself in there. You're a fort defender. Defend it. Don't be fucking retreating. Yeah, hold at all costs. Well done. Are we going to have to pull back from Kalnov to try and keep Potolsk? Ostrow's already gone. You're going to have to just come back here. Try and get yourself out. But now they've got a 1,500 stack just doing their thing. You're going to have to move back to Łódź. Maybe everyone has to go back to Łódź. Fortress Łódź? Yeah. Come on then. Ugh. Disgusting. Right. We'll pull him back. Try and keep as best as we can. Ugh, this is terrible. Absolutely. What a terrible situation. I don't think I can make it any better other than trying to push them out of Dubno. I mean, you're fresh, so why? Actually, you're not that fresh. Oh, they're all just a bit useless. But you can certainly help. Can't you? that's a decent reserve. He is a bit of a... oh, he's a staffer. Okay. 14, 12. Can we put him in there? All of a sudden he becomes a 26 out of 25. Well, it's not so bad. He might even be able to... oh, he's actually in Vilna. You're going to have to maybe move back across the river. 17 days. Oh, no way. What about this way? 17 days as well. Oh, shit. Oh, they named a ship after... oh, okay. Yeah. I'm not embarrassing myself not knowing all these famous generals. But it's an educational experience, if nothing else. Two... do we have anything lurking in the back that needs to be sent to the front? I don't think so. Tbilisi? What's going on in Tbilisi? Nothing. Right, okay, we're going to get this cavalry division to repair the railroad. If we can. And you guys are looking okay. Got this Cossack group coming back. These guys maybe need to go on a passive stance and see if they can't try and make it back to Kars. We've got you, who destroyed all your infantry. You can't even rebuild the rail because you've got no infantry. Oh, wow, okay, what's going on here? This looks a bit better. Do you have... oh, you don't have any supplies. Okay, so we've got a couple of reserves divisions, so we can definitely send them in and rebuild this corps here, and then maybe send them back for a counter-attack. I want you to hold it at all costs, just in case the Turks try and do something. You're sitting in the backfield doing your things, you know, for resting and refitting. You may want to actually try and buy some replacements for the Russians, although we still look to be okay somehow. It's given us some exclamation marks, but we've got the manpower to replace them, so I'm not sure why that's such a big urgency. But let's have a look at the man of the hour, Mr. Putnik. He might even be able to rally some forces back to take Belgrade. They seem to be doing okay. Let's send you back over here. 30 days through the Serbian mountains. Oof. Greece, what are you doing? Help! Nish. Nish was a problem, wasn't it? But we seem to be doing okay. That is Nish. Oh, that's Negatin. Where was Nish? Is that that? Yeah, okay. That was... Do we want to abandon this town? Negatin. No, we'll hold it. I don't think they'll take Belgrade yet. This guy needs to maybe just retreat. Although he is holding down a lot of forces. But a 361 stack is a bastard to lose. So that offers me real no strategic incentive to stay there. I'm going to pull him out. I kind of forgot they were there, in all truth. But it has been a while. Yeah, I'm about the same, Achilles. Yeah, I didn't sleep on the plane. I watched just the typical kind of in-flight movies. I watched 12 Mighty Orphans with Luke Wilson and Martin Sheen. So that wasn't so bad. Yeah, it was an okay movie for a flight. And then I watched a bit of Curb Your Enthusiasm. It's quite funny that they always have Curb Your Enthusiasm on the flight, and that's pretty much when and where I watch it. Yeah, I didn't get much sleep at all, and because it's a bank holiday, all the tube, or most of the tube, was running on limited service, so it took me about an hour and a half to get home, which is not ideal, lugging luggage through London, but hey ho. And we got back and we didn't feel at all tired until about 3 o'clock, and we put our head down, and here we are. But I don't think we can really do anything else for this turn. Oh, Königsberg looks well and truly entrenched. That's kind of worrying. Patolsk, he's holding that. Oh, jeez. Do we need Resin? Actually, we can hold that pretty comfortably, I think. This guy's not going to do much. He's lurking in the back there. We can't even offer a counter-attack for these guys, but yeah, we're going to just push on Dubno. There we go. Done. Turn over. See what the game chucks at us. I'll tell you what though, Achilles, I did watch some of, when I got home, I watched some of Bloody Big Battles Antietam. Looks pretty good. Kind of sorry I missed it, but you know, it was 10 times better hanging out with the girlfriend, you know, checking, well, I call her the girlfriend, she's the fiance now, you know, checking out the apartment and stuff. Yeah, 4 months and 1 day we're getting married, which will be fun. And then we have to go through the whole American visa system, which apparently I need to be paying attention to Title 42. So that, yeah, I got some reading to do on that and the processes, but apparently it's a bit of big news in America right now. But yeah, okay, going off on a tangent in between these little mini breaks between turns. I just don't want Dubno to fall or, you know, become a mass slaughter. Hopefully this little Tashi boy over here can become some kind of supreme leader and take on 10 times the amount of forces he can reliably command and push this fancy hatted guy out. Oh. Okay, we've got some recovery going on. Good news. Oh, and he's just entrenching, becoming 800. That just pisses on my cornflakes. Yeah, we have the men for replacements, but I really need to start building a couple of new corps, but I don't think we've got the national morale to fuck around with the budget. Kolno. Entente victory. Good. We do need... Gone. Good. Double the force against Prince Leopold. Whew. Gonna have to check him out and see how dangerous he is. They've got armored 160 vehicles and tanks. Even though we killed 25,000 Austrians. Go figure. Yeah, it was a strategic withdrawal as far as I'm concerned. Please don't wipe the entire army out. That would be disastrous. We've got this guy making a move up to here. That's a pain in the arse. Damn. Oh no. Ha! Funny hat guy has moved off. Yeah, they couldn't maintain those supply lines. Good, we'll push them out. Yeah, they've got double the forces under von Kluck. We cannot seem to push these Germans out. Only be on the defensive for everything. Kauno, right, okay. What do we think? How's it looking? Strong center. Maybe just a balanced. Or massed forward artillery. Use the plan to inflict big ranged casualties on the enemy, but with big assault combat penalties if countered. They're not assaulting, they're just attacking. So I'm going to do that. Big artillery. Although, oh, we don't have an artillery bonus. They do. That's probably going to be a bad idea. Bombard communications. I guess we'll try. I don't know. They've only got 250 in the stack, so we're pretty evenly matched. We're on an attacking stance. We have the cavalry bonus. Maybe we could even try for a cheeky cavalry harassment. Let's do it. Let's go for a cavalry infiltration. Let's try. Okay, it was just more of a skirmish. Razin, I think we're doing good here. I think maybe just a balanced deployment. Nothing fancy. There we go. There we go. 32,000 dead. Bring it on home, Mr. Ennenkampf. Lovely. But we need some damn morale boosts. Always go balance. Yeah. It should be my default, but we want to mix it up a bit. Russian defeat, apparently. I thought they'd already moved out by day 4, but apparently not. 58,000 men. Gone in a blink. But we're Russians, so we can just write that off in the insurance policy. What have we got here? Shall we just go balanced again? Oh shit. 380 versus 876. Balanced as we can, chaps. Balanced as we can. Only a tenth of the people lost, and they lost 20,000. That's not half bad. Still a defeat, though. Looks like Putnik is back on track for a nice assault in late August. Gotta love Putnik. Gotta love him. Looks like that Łódź offensive may have stalled. But we didn't pull back out of Zvornik. We weren't allowed to pull back from that weird defeat. 76,000 men. Yeah, we just... amazingly enough, we don't have the men to cover everything. And we're going to be down to like a 76 or a 75 at this rate. We just keep losing men. Keep losing battles. But with their attacks, they seem to be leaving holes in their line as well. So it's a trade-off. They managed to sneak a 600 stack behind our lines in Chernovitz. How they do this, I don't know. It's, being Russia, it's like, oh, hello, what's this? They're assaulting with an 85 in Tarnopol. I'm gonna wipe them out. Wave assault. Go for it. Russian defeat. Even though we killed 6,000 men to 400. You tell me how that's a defeat, I don't know. But the game says it is. So we're going to have to live with it. You're Russian, it's a defeat. Maybe we should have gone for balanced and they should have stayed in their trenches. I don't know. But it sure has messed up the Tarnopol front. Oh, there it goes. There it is, that 600 stat. 95,000 men. They lost nearly 9,000. And again, another Russian defeat at Chotin Fort. Looks like these Cossacks finally met their maker on the road back to Kars. Does make things interesting around Zoklov though. But it seems like, yeah, some of those major offensives may have stalled, especially around Kelch. Maybe it was more of a feint than anything, I don't know. Let's see how the national morale is. Because I think if we reach 75, something really bad happens, right? The revolution starts. Let's see how many men we killed in that month. Okay, we're staying at 78. Changes from battles 1, war weariness -1. So we stay where we are, which is a blessing. Okay then. Zoklov holds out with a bunch of captured supplies by the looks of things, which is nice. It's just a big artillery section now. So they're probably already, yeah, they're all gonna capture it all back if we don't do something about it. This, okay, this guy can sit here. Maybe this corps can move along here. Why were you on passive stance again? Okay, move. 8 days. This guy's gone on the passive stance again. Why? We don't know. He just likes being on a passive stance, I think. He's a 2-1-1. Ugh. Ugly. Tarnopol's been taken because this guy's given it up, even though he had this. Why? Why did you give it up? It's going to take us forever to take back Tarnopol. Funny Hat guys moved all the way down here. Maybe try and take back Chernovitz. I might even make you go back. Well, at least they had the good sense to take out the munitions at Tarnopol, I suppose. That's something at least. Maybe we might even be able to put you in there. Give you some extra gumption. But yeah, we need to definitely counter attack. Going in. Not one step back. These guys need to rebuild the railroad. Maybe you can sneak you there so we don't suffer any craziness with them crossing the river. I feel like we're missing Specs. Where's Specs gone? Because he was moving. We had like a 300 stack here. Don't tell me they've all been wiped out. There he is. Right. Okay. Maybe that was him. Maybe we can go back into Zaroslav. Just to capture it back. But what good does it do? Can you get 16 days? What about you? Still 16 days. Okay, well this is kind of quiet now. Gonna maybe ask you to go over here. Okay, and maybe you're just gonna sit there then. You can move over to Rararuska. He's moving in for an offensive in Busk. Hell, maybe we can threaten Lemberg. Gives the Russians something to cheer about. You're going to have to repair the railroad. Suffering heavily. Oh, we got some super heavy artillery. Oh shit. Right. Quick, move it back to Ivanograd. Get it out of there. If we can repair it and we can use it for ourselves, it can maybe help capturing Lemberg. Good win. I think that maybe is why we got the changes from Big Battles, because we managed to capture a Big Bertha. All these retreats. Why are you on a passive stance? Why? What? There's no need. There's no need to be on such a passive stance all the time. Right. Okay. This division. This can bolster you, right? Maybe you can go over to Cowler. Go back over here. 13 days. Yep. Okay. Good. Dig in, my friend. Dig in. This Russian force can definitely help. Hell, it might even be able to bolster the 25th Corps. Just take a couple from the 25th. Oh, we can maybe have one more. That's 'cause it's militia. Okay. Jesus. That's not good. That's not good to have these guys. Digging in. Oh, some random guy just... Oh, wow. Okay, we've got 196 that we can use. Didn't realise he was doing his thing. Maybe we can... Okay, what we'll do is we'll take... What do you got? Okay, we'll take your artillery. Transfer it over to him. No. Oh, shit. Okay, well, it sorts your core out, I guess. Turns you into the 5th Army. But you definitely need to rest. And we'll think about what to do with you. Warsaw looks kind of vulnerable, which I don't like. Patulsk can hold out, I'm sure, which is good because he's the fort defender. Ah, there's One-Eyed Jack. Okay, we've been looking for you. Oh, he's had it. Maybe giving him some artillery might help. Ooh. Okay, we're gonna have to... He's on a defensive stance, but maybe moving him back in there might help. Libau defenses, okay. Are these guys ready to go back out? I don't think so. Oh no, they look okay. Actually, no, these guys, this flagship here, which is pretty much the main punching element of the fleet here, needs to rest up a bit better. Is there anything hanging back in Moscow or anything that we can chuck out? Nothing. Horrible. Can we maybe use any generals? New generals? No? Nothing? Damn. Yeah, 1941 and the Japanese doing their thing as well. Yeah, that sounds horrible. Yeah, you're in the shit, as you say. Right. Okay, you're gonna have to rebuild the railroad. Cars is looking okay. As soon as we rebuild the railroads over in Aradan here, we'll be okay. You might be able to rebuild the railroads well in cars. Get the supplies up going. I am worried about these Turks coming into cars though. It's going to be a bastard. How good is he? He's a cavalry commander with an offensive of 3. He's not very good at defensive actions. But this guy actually is a Jaeger tactician and a master logician. So maybe we could, instead of having him at the back, maybe we can take him out and bring him forward to take command. There's no point sitting him in the back. How good are you? You've got strong discipline. It's an offensive of 4. Right. Okay. I don't think we've got the strength to do any kind of offensive actions against the Turks. There's no point in it. Let's check the foreign situation though. Romania kind of staying steady with that support. Doesn't look like they're going to be coming in either way. Italy's going to have to come in soon. That's good. Bulgaria is suffering from 10% rebels almost. Ooh, God. Serbia's got some rebels as well. What about Russia? 15% rebels. Oh, God. When 15% rebels is not good. Not good. We're going to have to try and win some battles here, folks. Going to have to turn it around. But I think the Germans are starting to exhaust themselves a bit. I mean, obviously they got 1,000 power up here, which is terrible. They got another 600 or so between these stacks here, threatening the bow, which we can't do anything about because we've got no bloody forces. But I mean, maybe we can start to hire some guys in Riga. Let's try and buy some guys. Like a mountain brigade. Let's go for Russia's, because Serbia's lost, so there's no point. Couple of reserve divisions, maybe. Militia in the bow? No. Tough to be a Russian. Finland. It's time. It's time to recruit a division. And that's it. God, it's like you can only afford to build 2 divisions in 3 months. It's a sad state of affairs. Let's see if we can do anything in the strategic atlas. Ooh. But we can do that next month. Polovanov. Maybe, yeah, he might be good to enact. That's locked. Everything's locked. Locked. Oh dear. Research. Yeah, we've got bugger all money for research. Let's have a look at the objectives again. Yeah, it's not good, is it? But the Central Powers have gone down to 94, so it suffered a heavy setback. Maybe France has done something. Still besieging Strasbourg. And looks like they're besieging Metz as well. Yeah, we're having to go on the defensive pretty much everywhere. I just don't want them to take these woods. Yeah, if they take these woods, then they can pretty much come at us from anywhere to take Woods. We don't want to lose Woods. Woods is close to my heart, ironically, considering it's such a terrible city. I kind of want to be bold, and if we can get rid of these guys by late summer, launch some kind of attack through the Carpathian Mountains here, but that's not going to work. Just looking along the line here and seeing if we've missed anything. I almost want to bring. I'm torn between him going to Kolo, which is only held by a militia, or going back to Djordjevic, which is actually only held by some cav. Because if they come in, they're gonna tear them up, because that's just a militia and some ammo. They've got no artillery support really to speak of. We might be able to actually some nice, some captured cavalry guns. Actually, that strengthens his position ever so much, doesn't it? I'll keep him there. Let's go down to Serbia. Space for time, yes, but it's. I don't want to. I want to. Yeah, you know, if we did the space for time thing, yeah, where would we fall back to? I mean, I'm kind of happy where we are. They're not continuing their attack, I don't think. I mean, maybe they might go for one more push around Ivanagrod in September. It looks like they're gearing up for it. Maybe I could take him out, because he's really serving no purpose. Maybe we could take him back. Yeah, okay, let's have a look at the Serbian situation. Can we get away with some militia in Serbia? We can. Now's the time. Okay, Putnik. Give it to me, son. Just captured supply wagons. Nice. Done. Can you get out? Or are you just going to remain a thorn in their side? If you can remain a thorn in their side, that's perfect. But if not, stay where you are. Maybe we could launch Putnik this way and Stepanovic going down south. No, you shall not. maybe Stepanovic should go on the attack as well. Now we're going to split. We're gonna hit them. Hit them both. Go. Rail. 9 days. There we go. Surprise. Serbian counterattack. Here we go. Done. Late August. Yeah, well, you seem to be my chief of staff at the moment, Achilles, and whilst I always value your input, and it has always been seen to be proven right. Yeah, the space of time thing, because every town we lose is a victory point lost. And at 78 victory, at 78 morale, I don't think we can afford to lose anything major. Every city counts when it's at 78. And if we can inflict a certain amount of casualties again in the autumn, then we might see ourselves in a bit more of a, maybe even a static kind of position become 1916. And maybe we might be able to launch our own offensives. He says. And next turn, if we get that 250, we can do that per Polonovich guy for communication reforms, etc., etc., etc. Maybe even instead do some research, because we can't stay too behind the curve with regards to tactics. Otherwise, we'll get absolutely bullied. I think staying on par with the Germans technologically is key, even though it does spread us a bit thin with regards to divisions raised, etc., etc. Right, where's these Austrians going? No. 6,000 lost, so nearly 10,000. Film that looks like it's gone. Okay, balanced. Go. Balance was our friend, but not when it leads to a defeat. Man for man, we did okay, but didn't do us. From Poland, we outnumbered them. That's good. They lost 7 tanks. Fantastic. That's where we needed to win it. That's where we needed to win. Looks like they're getting a bit thin on the ground down there. God. Hang on, that fort down there says it's besieged and broken. What is going on down there? Yeah, they have to. So there we go. Just like Tsar Nicholas was, bless him. But they're going to take that fort over by Chernowitz, aren't they? Those cheeky Austrian bastards. And he's dug in around Nish by the looks of things as well. Can we take Tarnopol back? Oh God, a Turkish stack of 1,300 is coming. Ah, no. What a nightmare. Looks like the Germans are covering a lot of ground for the Austrians, though. I guess as the Austrians have got a lot of guys running around down in Serbia. That's the reason why. That 1,300 stack is getting mighty, mighty close. It's kind of worrying. Just in time for our fella to take command in Kars Fort. Oh, and now it's reduced to 500. Victory. Kremenets. Okay, just some random cavalry skirmish. Zloksov is still holding out by the looks of things as well, which is nice. We can't let them take that. We're gonna keep going down. 41,000 men lost at Łódź under von Frank. They obviously weren't expecting 180,000 Russians to be sitting there for some reason. Good. Bastards. Bastards. Are we gonna have to turn back from Chernowitz? Are we gonna have to let them have it back? Ouch. Lost a cavalry division. Here comes the reinforcements. So I can defeat a Colo. But we had twice as many men. Looks like we've forced them to do a bit of a tactical withdrawal though, which is nice. Let's see what the national morale damage is going to be for that. Good point, Achilles. Yeah, when Italy enters the war, they should be a bit more vulnerable. Have they entered the war yet? There we go. It looks like they've entered the war. Yeah, part of the Western Entente now. Good. Ooh, splendid. Yeah, we have the forces to exploit it, which is nice. Come on, Italy, do something. Don't just sit there like France. Although they've taken Mohange and Saarburg, Strasbourg and Metz are no longer under threat, but they've managed to get up to Thionville. So it's still all this. Actually, they've got these two as well, Bitch and Alsace. Beach. Right. Mühlhausen probably needs to go too, surely. But now we're at 76. No, I think... Let's have a look. Defeat level if it hits 0. Okay, we've got some breathing room. But yeah, as the Austrians fall back, this is down near Chernowitz. It might help, but man, don't be coming in there. What? What the fuck? Why are you on passive stance all the time? Okay, I'm going to send the cav back and send I guess we'll send you and you. Heavy artillery should help in the defense. Mr. Mustache Man, what he called? Klembowski. I guess now you can move up. As Dubno seems to be okay, but please don't put yourself on a passive stance. That really ruins my day. Tarnopol was a disaster. Ouch. They're exhausted, bless them. They're just exhausted. It's just too much for them. And this guy still can't seem to break Zloklov. Maybe we can force him out. I don't know, but the thing is, launching an attack 62. Nothing's... Fuck. Third Army just in tatters. This guy never made it. Guess you can be part of this Russian force now, I suppose. They've been forced back. Maybe taken by river. Nope, can't do it. Just keep defending, would you? Man, yeah, we're kind of exhausted. We need to kind of like figure out some way of switching people out, but what's this? Bulgaria? What? Oh, it's just a supply train. I was like, what? Bulgaria switched sides? No, we're not that lucky. He did have a general sitting in Nish, I know he did. But we won't do Serbia quite just yet. Yeah, I can't really do anything. Everyone's just so exhausted. Ah, but we've cut off these guys, and now he's in trouble. Jesus Christ! What happened? Can we maybe get a train over? Like, everyone's sitting in Suwalki doing nothing. Right, okay, I forgot about the guys in Suwalki. Who's the kind of freshest core? 36 days, can we get that done? Oh. But we can launch an attack. If we be clever about it. days. Alright. We'll launch an attack. This guy. He's been sitting here forever. He's a good tactician, multinational commander. Let's do it. Let's go into Vladislav here. Take some cav with you. Yeah, take some cav. Bolster your forces a bit. There we go. That's a bit better, isn't it? No, it's saying it's going to take him 62 days. 27. Yeah, he's going to have to start that there. You're 148, but somehow... Can we maybe just... Aha! We can cut their supplies again. expensive. Aha, this is going to be good. This is going to surprise them, I think. We'll put you on an attack. Combine these guys together. I don't like the fact that they always want to go to some crazy passive stance. Maybe even send these guys over here. Structure. This guy seems to be all ready and going. We're going to go back for an attack on the shipping. A one-man happy hour. Oh no. Tell him to come in here and we can have happy hour watching me. Shall we go in? There we go. I'm here.
Hey, I was just watching you.
Yeah, I need to just need to turn the sound on because all of the artillery and explosions and stuff makes the stream deafening. But
It does, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, even when you're just watching it, it's like if you're trying to talk when it makes those noises,
Yeah.
you can't hear anything you're saying.
Yeah, and it's crazy because you can't really. I mean, the settings. Let's go. Options. Music is right down. Battle animation. Everything should be off, I think. System. Yeah, because the music is right down. Ah, well, we'll see how we get on. But
Yeah, we're the only two here anyway. It doesn't make much difference.
Either that or we're just two ahead. I don't know. I guess maybe Brant is busy.
Oh, there's Mike.
Hey guys,
Hello.
Hey, Mike.
how's it going?
Oh, it's fine. I was here all alone and watching Dave play on YouTube, and he decided to join me.
Yeah, I was just messing around and finally remembered it, so stop in for just a little bit here.
Dave's fighting World War I on YouTube right now.
Oh, what game you playing?
To End All Wars.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's AGEOD. But yeah, I'm the Russians. It's September 1915. I don't think we're doing too badly. We could be doing worse.
Dave is an incredible optimist.
I mean, we could be doing worse. I mean, yeah, they do seem to be creeping through the wire everywhere, but you know, it's as you say, you know, Italy's just joined the war, and you know, once the Austrians kind of fall back from the Carpathian Mountains, we might be able to launch some kind of attack.
Yeah, only if you start preparing for it, because otherwise you're not going to have enough force there. You need to get some to start massing some units behind the line so that you can use them for the assault. And I don't know, does it allow you to like mass supplies in advance or anything?
No, other than just the kind of supply divisions, not really. And supply divisions are bloody expensive.
Yeah.
So but yeah, we're very much trying to fight a defensive battle at the moment.
Yeah.
I wonder if those guns made it back to Ivanagrod. I think they may have captured them back. That sucks.
He is right, Mike. It could be worse. The Germans could be in Moscow already.
Yeah, but I mean they've suffered over 3 million casualties.
Yeah, but it's World War One. Nobody cares. They'll just keep going.
That's the one that the Germans should really have won, though. To be honest.
First World War.
Yeah.
There was a whole lot of mistakes in their planning. That's why they did.
Well, the first mistake was Austria not having an army that could fight worth a crap.
Well, then really their first mistake was being friends with Austria. They should have picked a better friend.
Well, yeah.
It wouldn't have made any difference if they had succeeded in northern France, but their operational plan was not the best.
Well, the plan was fine. It was the coordination that fell apart. You
Oh,
had two
no,
armies that were
I would
moving
suggest
into northern France, and the coordination fell apart on them, and they didn't coordinate very well in the last month of their offensive there.
Yes, but that was
after northern
unfortunately
France,
part of. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say, but after that, their biggest strategic mistake was keep trying to bang their heads against France at that point. when Hindenburg and Ludendorff proved that they could beat the Russians pretty regularly, they should have said, let's concentrate on knocking Russia out of the war. And they only did that half-heartedly.
Until they succeeded, yeah.
Yeah, but still, think about it, though. They didn't really push hard until 16, latter half of 16.
Right.
If they would have done that from the get-go in 15, they could probably have knocked Russia out of the war by mid-1916.
Yeah, instead of going after Verdun, if they had gone after the Russians.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, but Falkenhayn had his heart set on Verdun, and it's like, play the defense. And again, so this is a problem, right? Again, World War I, you had the perfect opportunity to play defense. You could have given up some ground in Belgium and France to the British and the French and the Belgians. Who cares? Give up a little bit of ground. Play the defense. Force them to expend their blood on doing that stuff. We've got the Russians. The Russians in 1915 still couldn't produce enough artillery shells.
Yeah, as Dave can attest.
And think about it. It was, 1916 that the Russian offensive hit off, and that let Romania jump into the war.
Yeah.
If you would have knocked Russia out, in fact, if you would have been successful against Russia in 1915, you may have delayed Italy joining the war for months, if ever.
Or the Italians might have stayed on Central Power's side instead of switching sides.
Well, no, they'd already left the Central Powers by then. They left the Central Powers at the start of the war.
Mm-hmm. Yes, but they didn't join the Entente until 1915.
Right.
So
yeah,
they might have thought better of that.
Right, but that's what I'm saying though, right? Is if you would have gone and hammered the Russians from the very beginning, and they did, they hammered them hard with that one with their offensive in the spring and summer, but then they decided, oh, we've done enough, let's go back to France now. It's like, why? Keep going. You've got the Russians, and it's not that heck, Russians were sending troops to the front with no weapons, waiting for somebody else to get killed or wounded, and then using their weapons.
Well, this goes back to the original idea. The problem was the German perspective on how to fight war, and it was the army staff, the chiefs of staff, and the that their view of how war was fought was the pervasive one, and it answers that. It kind of feeds into that question. You know, why the Germans have this great success, like at Tannenberg, and then don't exploit it against the Russians? It comes down to this idea that first of all, they had no pre-drawn operational plan for that. I mean, the operational plan that they had mechanically tried to stick to was defeating France and playing defense against the Russians. So they weren't prepared for that kind of success. They weren't flexible enough to exploit it. And secondly, if you look at Russia, take out the idea of the collapsing Russian will, and just look at it purely technically and mechanically on the map, there's no strategic point that's within reach. I mean, there's nothing you can get to within a few months' time that essentially knocks the Russians out. You know?
Yeah.
Whereas for the French, Paris is only a few miles away.
Shit, they've
And
taken Cumene.
You know?
The Turks are just.
Oh no!
Oh no! They literally
poor Dave. He's getting hammered by the Turks too. By now.
and you're right. I mean, from at the beginning of the war, they didn't have the plan, but even by 1915, there was talk about, hey, Ukraine, Belarus, the Baltics, Poland. We won't bring them into the empire, but we'll make them puppet states and form this giant economic defensive bloc with them, right?
Yeah.
So, you had Poles fighting with the Germans and the Austrians, hoping for Poland to be free.
Yeah.
You could have cut deals with them, and so your strategic goals should have been, let's hammer west or eastward. Let's free up the Baltics, the Belarus, and the Ukraine, and let's bring them into this fold. Let's give them a stake of a piece of the pie, so to speak, right?
Yeah. Well, that's very true. In fact, it's the same argument that will be made in the Second World War, where the Germans there were those arguing in the upper echelons of the Reich that they should be arming the Ukrainians and allowing them some form of independence, and then you would have all of the Ukraine helping you fight the Russians. As it was, they didn't want to do that. They saw the Ukraine as obviously a place the Germans could exploit. Although there were Ukrainians who fought for the Germans against the Russians, they didn't take advantage of it like they could have. They could have said, "Hey, we'll allow you to be an independent state." Essentially a puppet state of Germany, but an independent state, and they could have gotten most of the Ukraine to fight against the Russians. That would have been devastating, in 1941, 1942.
Yeah. Well, I mean, think about like 1916, right? If Germany would have concentrated on 15 and 16 on taking out Russia, or at least capturing lots of areas, that could probably have solved a good bit of their food problems for the Central Powers.
Yeah. I mean, Ukraine could have fed Germany.
Yeah. I mean, and you could have gone in there. You could have developed. You could probably have introduced some more modern farming, even without all the fertilizers available. Just working on transportation.
Yeah, there's the Achilles heel of this, though, is the ability to transport food from the Ukraine to Germany just almost didn't exist.
Yeah.
They would have had to build that from scratch.
And they could have, right? I mean, they could very realistically have built a rail system. It now would have been done overnight? Absolutely not. But you would have had the beginning of something so that by 1918, you didn't lose the war because the people were protesting due to hunger in the streets of Berlin.
Right. Yeah, it would have taken a lot of the teeth out of the British blockade. But it also comes down to a similar argument with in the Second World War with the Germans entering the Caucasus to go after the oil fields, because the reality, the truth of the matter is that's a gaming thing. Okay. The reality is that the Germans could never have transported that oil to Germany to make it useful. There was no pipeline for them to do that with. The Russians would have blown the fields before the Germans could take them anyway. The Germans didn't have the didn't have enough technicians to run the oil field, rebuild the oil fields, and run them.
Mm-hmm.
And there was just no method for them to actually transport what they would have needed from there to Germany to use it. So they could have taken it, but it would have been useless. You know?
But in at least you can also though point out that there was still some rail system in Western Russia, right? Ukraine, Belarus, the Baltic.
Sure, different
Poland.
gauge rail system.
Right, it was different gauge, but you could have probably looked at utilizing some of that and gotten like food up into say Riga in the Baltic ports and then transported it over. There was options there. I'm not saying it wouldn't have been fixed overnight, but you would have had it would have been one less issue that you had to deal with as far as hunger goes, right?
Sure. Although Mr. Pumphouse can also attest to the fact that the Russian rail network isn't very good.
Yeah.
No, and it's not. I mean, and that was another thing that they were suffering from. They did not. One of their biggest problems was rail cars would go to the front with supplies, and then the commanders wouldn't send them back. They would keep them. And another huge problem that the Russians has is that they relied on cavalry.
Yeah.
Well, those horses took an awful lot of feed.
Yeah.
And food and fodder. Well, that all eats up your railway. They had a lack of artillery. They had a lack of weapons. The rail system wasn't running very well.
Yeah, there's only so much capacity, and you have to make choices as to what you're going to use it for. So.
Yeah, it just seems like going to the next county and it takes a month by rail is just excessive.
Well, Russia's pretty big. I mean,
Yeah.
the distances are there.
That's true.
And you only have one rail line and one engine.
And it's like I said, it's not that it would have fixed everything, right? But I mean, think about like Ukraine and Belarus and the Baltics, right? What if you got to start some steel mills? Maybe a couple of companies factories to build rail cars and engines, right? And that's where I'm saying. Also, now you're bringing these folks in. You're giving them better pay. You're treating them more like German workers type. You know what I'm saying? May have all been German businesses. But, hey, yep, we'll sign up with you guys. This is a good deal for us.
All of that would have actually done it that way, which is a big assumption because it's unlikely that the Germans would have treated them that way. I mean, there's a whole lot of caveats in there, but the possibility or the potentiality existed anyway. So, but they would have had to have a whole different worldview than the one they had, and that just wasn't going to happen. So,
although I'm not saying that these guys were angels, right? But they didn't always do too bad down in Africa though either, with how they developed some of those colonies.
The Germans, they did better than in some of the other ones. Yeah.
I mean, so they had some history there. They had the ability, just really not. But they obviously never decided to embrace that. And I think that it's just because the German military was so focused on France and defeating France and England at the time.
Yeah, there's a lot of truth to that. But also remember the Germans have especially the Prussians, who are much of the driving force here, have a very long history of animosity with those people in the East, which they would not have had with the Africans. They have a long violent history against the Poles and the Baltic states and the Russians themselves. So their attitudes were a little different there too.
And that's one of the things though that they could have looked to Austria-Hungary for some leadership on, right? on integrating them in.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, Austria-Hungary, the empire was not a split empire. It wasn't on the verge of splitting. It the Habsburgs actually figured out how to integrate most of the peoples together for the most part.
Yeah.
Except for
I'm
the
not saying,
Serbs.
well, but they weren't part of the empire either. I mean,
Yeah.
Serbia was its own separate country at the time.
Yeah, but the people that lived around Sarajevo, some of them were, well, some of them were Serbs too.
Yeah, yeah.
And apparently, they weren't all happy about it.
No.
I don't know. Poor Dave. Now he's jet lagged. He's, he decided to work out his jet lag by going on YouTube and playing World War One, which might make us question his sanity.
It seemed like a good idea at the time. And yeah, but I think in maybe another half an hour, and I'll call it quits for the night, and
You'll pass out.
Yeah. But yeah, I just wanted to see what happens. It's been what 3 weeks since I did the last game, so I wanted to progress.
Yeah, actually, you and I are the next matchup.
Yeah, that's right. When did you want to do that?
I don't know. To find some time. Maybe.
There's OJ. I don't know.
No, I'm just trying to think of everything I got going on this week. Maybe maybe Saturday. I can do it in the morning. I know it'd be afternoon your time.
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Saturday.
Yeah.
Okay. Ping me sometime on Saturday, early afternoon your time or whatever, and
sure.
Remind me. Don't let me forget.
Yeah, I think I think you might have the advantage on me though, because I think you're still over 1,000 and I'm only 830.
I think I'm still short a player.
You are?
Yeah, I think I've gotten 2 players killed and I've only been able to replace 1.
Oh, jeez. But yeah, because I lost 2 in the first week, and my ogre took an agility hit from a busted knee.
Ooh.
But he doesn't really go anywhere, so he's not running with the ball, so that's not so bad. But it's
you hope.
It's
you hope he's not.
No, exactly. But no, it's really kind of made me on paper the weakest team, but miraculously I've been winning the games.
Yeah, exactly. You have the best record, don't you?
Yeah, so far.
Yeah. Well, my ogre has all his agility. He just still didn't go anywhere. He kept boneheading every play. I've signed up for the Kriegspiel on Saturday as part of Connections. It'll be my first Saturday one.
Oh, nice.
Ah, very good.
Yeah. Looking forward to that. That should be fun.
Yeah, and
although I don't know, Jan will probably be running it, so I'll probably be killed in the first 15 minutes.
No, he won't have any bad blood against you.
Oh, sure. For my first report, there was a bomb in your saddlebag. Sorry, blew off both your legs.
Oops. Sorry. Don't know how that happened.
Yeah, what a shame. You needed to roll a 7 on a 6-sided die, but you didn't get it.
Yeah.
Oh, well. Well, now that he's back to life again. Okay, maybe you can't complain too much.
Oh, you found
There
out
you
about
go.
that?
I'm sorry?
You found out about that?
Yeah, because the two Republican prisoner guys I had both told me.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, that's fair enough.
They said, "Oh, he was just in a coma." I'm like, "What the fuck are you talking about? I
So,
ran a sword through his heart.
well, so this
We
is the
had
thing.
his body for a day."
No, did you have him for a date? Right, so this is the thing, right? Because we played it out as, yeah, we played it out as yes, you stabbed him, but some of his chasseurs managed to take his body away, and then when they got back to camp, we rolled a dice to see if the corps surgeon agrees that he was dead, and he wasn't.
Oh my god. Okay, first of all, first of all, when I went and spoke to their army, they asked me for his body,
Right.
and I went back to the camp, and then Marshall and I discussed it, and so the next day
Right.
we did a procession to bring his body back to them. So he'd been laying on the ground
I didn't.
bleeding to death
Yeah,
for 24 hours by that point.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, I was not fully aware of that. I have to admit, because the way I read it, it was that the chasseurs managed to get out with his body.
I mean, the three that I killed in the fight.
I don't know. But
It was crazy. But I can tell you that when those guys saw, I was actually telling them what actually happened
right.
in the tent, because I actually wanted them to know that yes, I'm the one that killed him, and it was under Marshall's orders, and you know that actually it had broken into this fight, and I killed him. I wanted them to know the truth, because essentially I was trying to tell them, look, I don't want to play anymore. I don't want to fight. Okay, as far as I'm concerned, I sent out that message to try to get everybody to have a meeting so we could end this stupid war.
Yeah.
Because really, my goal at this point is to end this stupid war so that we could actually do the reforms and all that stuff that needs to be done.
Yeah.
So that was my interest. I actually don't care. I was just like, here, I'm going to tell you exactly what really happened, because I want you guys to know that I actually am not interested in fighting you. Yeah. I just want to have everybody get together and have a meeting.
Yes, and that's the thing, because you've had Marshall call for a meeting, and then the military situation, he just didn't get there because the Republic decided to put forces in the way.
Yep.
So and then no one turned up, and then now you've got Marshall leaving, and then saying, "Okay, you guys need to have a peace conference."
Yes.
You have the Prime Minister of Altmark, Kuntz, McKay, and the Foreign Minister of Lysen. Yeah. Sitting in Vermilion for the last month, waiting for the Emperor to turn up, basically, for this peace conference. And you're like, yeah.
This is a Kriegspiel?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the red versus blue campaign.
Okay.
And it's and it's just kind of, I think it's because the mistake is that the military situation is run in a different server, and sometimes we tend to try and trust each other that we don't necessarily need to read each other's forums almost, because it's just like or interact with it too much, because there should be some, at least you should be checking every so often, but sometimes events happen so quickly you blink, and armies just pop up in places where they probably shouldn't have been.
Yes, I sent out this the thing saying, hey everybody, let's just get together and end this. Okay, Absolutely no one responded. No one. Not a single one of them responded.
Mm.
Okay. So, which basically from my point of view is like, okay, nobody actually wants to make peace, or at least not with
Yeah,
me.
that's right.
Okay. So and in that message I said, look, okay, the emperor's gone. The one reason that you gave for not wanting to meet, because you didn't trust him, okay, and he's gone. All
Yeah,
right. So now the only reason you had for not wanting to make peace is no longer an issue.
yeah,
So here, let's get together. And no one responded,
yeah,
which says, you know what? None of these guys are actually interested in peace. They all think they can win. So they're gonna become the next tyrant or whatever. Okay, fine. That's fine. So I said, you know what? I said, okay, I'm releasing all my Republican prisoners, which I did,
mm.
and under no conditions whatsoever. Which, by the way, Marshall was like, "What the fuck?" but make them sign some kind of parole or something. I'm like, what difference would it make? They could just break it anyway. So what difference would it make? But, I was like, no, you guys just leave, just go away. And I said, if you don't fight me, then I'm not going to fight you. I'm not interested in you.
Yeah.
I have one target, and it's McKay. I have one target. Anybody gets in my way, they're going to have to fight me.
Everyone says I'm going after
kill
McKay, and McKay just sits there, and I don't understand really. Yeah, I mean, even as the master umpire, the military situation, like it did get out of hand with the fact that armies fought for days on end, and you're like, surely they're running out of men, like.
You would think.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's happened there.
And they keep popping up out of the ground, out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the Republicans, at this point, the Republicans have, we released all of their enlisted men right after the battle.
Sure.
Let them all go home. The only ones we kept were anybody above the rank of corporal.
Yeah, that's right.
And we took all their weapons and ammunition.
Mm.
Okay, so essentially their army was disbanded. All those guys just went home, and I had the NCOs and the officers and their two leaders as prisoners.
Yeah.
And I've had them for over a month. Okay, so I just released all of those guys. Now, if I start marching north and all of a sudden I'm faced by another Republican army, I'm going to have to question where the fuck they came from. Okay, because they've got no guns. Their guys all went home. So where the hell did these guys show up from? I mean, it would take them a while to reconstitute any kind of force that meant anything. Well, and where would they get the ammunition and the weapons?
Yeah, and that's another problem as well, because territory seems to change hands, and there's apparently there's not much of a supply impact, but. Yeah. From an umpire point of view, I was kind of handed the reins, and
Trust me, Dave, you have nothing to explain. You guys have been handling a chaotic mess of with basically herding cats this whole time.
Yeah.
And the truth is, it's like I said in your little chat thing there.
Yeah.
The problem was that the system wasn't set up, to handle what's happened. We essentially broke it.
Yeah.
And that's not y'all's fault. That's that the system wasn't prepared for this. And in something this big, it's kind of like a giant play test.
Yeah.
And you're gonna run into all these problems, and then it's okay. Well, here are these problems. We need to fix them. So let's fix them. That's what needs to happen, and you guys can only work with the tools you were given. So that's not a problem. You got to do what you can do.
Yeah.
But Marshall recognized, these issues were all over the place, and yes, they need to be addressed. And I was like screaming at him too, saying, look, these things need to be fixed. Okay, because otherwise there's no incentive and there's no consequence.
Yeah, and that's another thing as well, because when you're kind of given the reins, and I was like, well, I haven't really been paying too much attention to the military side of things. So Peter was kind of left running that, and I was just dealt with the general kind of fuckery. And so long as I knew where where people were, that was fine, because you think you could trust a relatively decent decision with regards to the military actions. But as people have realized, if there's no if they're just pieces but they don't suffer any kind of attrition, armies just fight for days over scraps of land, and there's no it doesn't make a lot of sense.
You can't destroy your enemy. You win. I mean, I won 5 battles in the Eastern Campaign.
Exactly.
Didn't lose
I thought it would be
time,
over by then.
But the enemy I faced every time was the same size as it was the last time.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it's like, okay, well, what's the point? What am I doing over here? It's like I can't achieve anything. I'm just staying alive, and I'm always outnumbered 2-1 anyway. So it's like crazy. But I just said. I told those Republic guys, what is it? What are their names? Dubois and
Ganalay.
Ganalay. I told them, hey, you guys are free. Take all your take all the prisoners. You guys go wherever you want to go and do whatever you want to do. I don't care. I said, if you don't fight me, I'm not going to fight you. I have essentially one target in mind, and that's McKay. But I also told Marshall, look, the only way anybody's ever going to get peace is they're going to have to kill everybody. I said, I'm done trying to talk to these people, because every time I tried to get anybody to talk, no one will, or they try to kill you when they talk to you.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody wants to rerun the Red Wedding every time they have a meeting.
That's it.
So So I'm like, I'm done negotiating, and I'm done talking. I'm not the least bit interested in that. I'm going to go until I either kill all of them or they kill me, whichever happens first. And I don't actually care which one happens. So it doesn't bother me. I'm just going. And McKay is my target. He's my objective.
I think
and I don't
McKay
care
is
about his army. I
everyone's
don't care about
target.
the location.
I think McKay is everyone's target, but the thing is, they don't seem to really want to do anything about it. I mean, you've had Kuntz sit there next to him for 6 weeks and do nothing.
Yeah, exactly. Well, there's another question I have, and I don't know as you can answer it, and if you can't, that's fine. But I'm really curious about it, so maybe you can find out if you don't know the answer to it.
Okay.
The forces I left in the capital with
Kuntz.
Okay. Well, first of all, the two of those divisions were mine. I raised them and led them for the whole Eastern Campaign, but now all of a sudden they seem to be loyal to him and they don't listen to me. The other part of the other division, though, is more problematic. I mean, maybe Kuntz could convince those two divisions, because they were from old Republican areas, that I had abandoned the old Republicans by allying with the Imperials.
I remember.
So
I remember that order about. You ordered that.
That could be a that could be a justifiable thing. But the third division was an Imperial division. Okay, he couldn't. I don't think it makes sense that he's convinced them that to work against the Imperials, so that doesn't make sense. If he's got a force, it would have, I mean, what happened to those guys? So, unless he just disarmed them and arrested them all or something.
This is the thing. This is the thing, right? Because, like I kind of, so you've reminded me about those 2 divisions that you asked to leave, and I'll have to maybe chase Peter up with that. But I remember saying to you a couple of weeks ago, the simplest explanation is often the right one. And to be honest with you, like I said, everyone's just sitting in Vermilionville waiting for people to turn up to this meeting. and you guys and the Republic keeps fighting, and it's just like, okay. And then because Ikias died, and then we waited.
If anybody really dies.
And then we basically turned him into the Council of St. Praha. So he's kind of got
Yes.
a mission. And then the first thing he does is, I want peace talks at St. Praha. And it's just like,
Yeah.
just everyone just needs to come together and just say, right, I'm going there, and then you can have your peace talks, and then we can stop the game, I think.
Well, the problem is that the Council of St. Praha
Yeah.
was McKay.
No, the Council of St. Praha was me.
But it was established by McKay and Kuntz.
No, it was established by Lysen.
Well, see, the original message announcing it, what came out from McKay. So everybody thinks that it's McKay.
No, it was set up by the Duke of Lysen when he left. He said, right, I'm leaving Vermilion, and we're just going to set up like a proxy kind of council in the kind of northern kind of peaceful region that they kind of developed. And they can act as like a de facto government until you guys sort it all out. And everyone's just sitting in Vermilionville waiting for the peace talks, and the St. Praha Council is kind of just like, because I had to kind of come up with an answer to that order on the spot. And then you had Marshall kind of coming out with all these proclamations. And I was just like, well, because the Council of St. Praha are essentially old Republicans, they're not going to agree with it. They're from a political point of view, that imperialists guys should take back power. So I had to throw a spanner in the works to make sure that Marshall didn't just take command again. But no, I mean the announcement came from me, I think, because I had to just come up with an answer on the spot. I don't think it came from McKay at all.
I'm looking for it now. I can't remember which channel you put it in. That's why I'm having trouble finding it.
Yeah, because I just handed over the reins to Ichius. I was just like, well, they're old Republicans. You can, and he already had like connections with Lysen anyway from like his character. So I just thought, okay, well, it's just going to be a similar role that what you're used to. Have at it, type of thing.
Okay, here's one where you have the Regional Congress of St. Praha rejecting the Imperial Proclamation.
Yeah.
Where's the one announcing? Where did you put the one that announced them in the first place?
It should be in the
While you're looking that up, I got to get going. Need to
okay, Mike.
Get some dinner. Dave,
okay,
glad
Mike.
Glad you had a good trip, and sorry you had to come back home, but
I know it needs must.
But yep, soon enough.
All right.
All right, guys. We'll talk to you all later. Have a good night.
You too, Mike.
Right. While you're looking that up,
Bye.
then I'll finish this battle.
Oh yeah. Okay. Let's see. I found the letter to all leaders of peaceful nations. This is from Kay.
Right.
Okay. Where he claims that he's won the Civil War and defeated Heinemann.
Right.
Which is remarkable since he was nowhere near him.
Exactly. Yeah.
I think, by the way, the guy in this entire thing who deserves the award for having done the best job is McKay. Because he's played his role, the role that they gave him.
Yeah.
He has played perfect. I mean, he has been a pain in the ass for everybody, which was exactly what he was supposed to be. And he's done it beautifully. I mean, I not many flaws in the way he's done this. Let's see.
All right. I think I'm going to end the stream here now, and then we can figure out what's going on with this Council of St. Praha, because no, they should not be.
I cannot find.
I think that's just.
I can't seem to find the thing that announced their existence to start with.
Right.
Where is it?
That's because it.
I remember